because I was making noise. I maybe should have used that C word. I didn't know. I didn't tell my parents. My father was a legislator at the time. You know, I could have called and said, yeah, but I didn't. I should have communicated with that teacher. But I said, I wasn't making noise. I didn't say I couldn't hear it. So I was whistling out of my nose, and it was like some testing, state testing, which is important. And, you know, I'm shaking the desk, and it's squeaking, and she gives me numerous warnings. Well, you know, I'm like, whatever. So I go to the principal's office. Communication. What reasons did they have to make fun of me? My speech? My braces? Everybody has braces. If you notice when you have braces, your mouth isn't as flexible. You know what I mean? You kind of, you know, people can see what you ate 3 days ago on your teeth. You know, you try to blow them out. That was corn. You know, and I started growing my hair out because I wanted to cover the hearing aids, and you had a little plastic piece coming out. And you had to put it behind your hearing aid. Then you had to put your glasses on, and that made them out even farther, so I'm like Dumbo with little plastic things in my ears. And then I have hair on top of that, so I'm like a long-haired MacGyver guy, and MacGruber, you know, long hair. And then you have braces. You know, you try so hard to overcome that. So what did I do to overcome that? Educated myself. You got to educate yourself. So I had a very strong family. My brothers were 10 and 12 years older than me. But when they went off to college, I was kind of on my own. I couldn't call them and say, hey, will you beat this kid up for me? I mean, that doesn't happen. So I started working out, weightlifting, trying to eliminate things that were being made fun of. If you're being made fun of, try to eliminate the things that make you fun of. So I wear contacts. So I got rid of the glasses. I started lip reading. I had to take, of course, speech growing up. You know, Ray, Ro, you know, all the A, E, I, O, U vowels and stuff. But I had to take lip reading. And I had a choice between sign language and lip reading. And I didn't want people to think that if I chose sign language, that they would automatically say, are you deaf? I hate it when they do that. Can you not hear me? You know, I'm just like, what is that? What? It's funny. Isn't that funny? I mean, they're talking to me like I'm mentally challenged, and they, you know, they're like, oh, there's the mirror. Me? Weightlifting and made sure I wasn't a bully, and I became very courteous. I started treating people how I wanted to be treated. Guys, it doesn't always work. But when it does, it's worth it. Open the door for somebody, you know, well, you're a sucker. And whatever you want to say. But I'm doing that because I want you to treat me like that. It doesn't always happen. It probably happens 70% of the time. You treat others how you want to be treated. It's true. You hear it your whole life. But you got to try it. Especially being bullied. You know, you treat others how you want to be treated, and you use that C word. That's communication. When I took the speech class, when I was younger, I said chimney instead of chimney, or electricity instead of city. My brother would go, it's city, city, not kitty, city, kitty, city. There's a big difference. So I said electricity. And that's an example right there. The S sound, the C. So I had, you know, I started learning how to speak so people could quit making fun of me. I went to this lip reading class. I'm going to read it out of his book. It's real short. And I walk in, and I'm a freshman, feeling rebellious, you know. Freshman is stubborn. Sophomore, you're okay. Freshman is stubborn, is moving up, right? So I'm like, I do not want to go to this speech class. But I'm going. I'm sitting there going to go, ray, ree, ri, ro, roo. You know, like some dog, Mishka, you know, on YouTube. You know, so, ray, ree, ri, ro, roo. And so I go in, I sit down, and she starts whispering to me. when you whisper to me, it sounds like a loose hydraulic hose in my ear. Especially those who are out of shape. You know, I can't hear you. I can't understand what you're saying. You know, they play this little game where the first person whispers and whispers to the next, and whispers to the next, and whispers to the next. Dumbest game in the world. Anyway, the person on the end says, he ate bean burritos for supper last night, you know, and the other person's like, that's not what I said. So I was in the middle, and I got to change it up, you know. He tooted, really loud, and it stunk good. Of course, they would all look at me and be like, Matthew? So anyway, I go inside, and I try to imagine, when I'm trying to educate you guys on what I look for when I read lips. She read, Bob likes to run. Bob likes to run. Yes? How did you know, she asked. Because he adjusted himself in the desk chair. When you began your sentence, your lips were closed. They opened to form an oval, and then your lips came together again until you said Bob. She nodded, smiling. The B is made up with the lips together. The O is made when your mouth is open with the tongue recoiled, and then you put your lips back together, thus making a B. Some of you guys are going. She nodded eagerly, very impressed. Go on. I saw your tongue touch the top lip, which makes the L sound. When you did a partial smile with your mouth open, you're saying I. Then, when you make an S face, you smile with your teeth touching. That's my perception. What about to run, she says. Your tongue, and I say, your tongue is touching the roof of your mouth to make a T, and then your lips are pushed out to give a kiss when you whisper the O sound. Some of you guys are good. Run is when you begin acting to kiss, but your lips weren't pushed out as far to make the R and U sound, but you ended the word in N, by leaving your tongue touching the top row of your teeth longer than you would if you said T. You guys see that? Yeah, yeah. I just said it to myself. Mishka. So, you know, my enhancers grew, you know, to smell anything. And my wife hates it because when she wants to cook something to surprise me, it's too late. I already smell it way before she even starts cooking. Like brownies, I can smell the batter before you even put it in the oven. Make a brownie. No, I'm not. It's not for you. It's for the kids. Right. My senses of feeling, wrestling. I went to state wrestling. I shake the kid's hand, and they were cold. What did that tell me? He's nervous. Okay? But if you shake a kid's hand and it's warm, you're in for a little battle. The little things like that. Expand your frame of reference. Expand what you know. Educate yourself. Keep teaching yourself stuff. Okay, other examples. Like the sense of smell. My youngest son, well, he was, now I got a new one. Anyway, so my older youngest son was sleeping, and I felt, you know, I can feel things. I can feel the ground. I can tell when people are walking by me, behind me, because I feel the ground. I can probably judge your weight, you know, from how you're walking across the floor. Anyway, you know, people walking back there, you know, you can just feel it. You sense it. But I was laying down sleeping, and my younger son, Jacob, was sleeping in his crib, and I felt, you know, something just kind of jarred me up, and I thought, well, what was that? I smelled smoke. Immediately. I can't hear the fire alarm. His humidifier caught on fire. We had this humidifier on because it was dry season, you know, and he was allergy, or whatever. And then, you know, good thing I smelled that, but the fire alarm went off and the wife got up and we went in and threw it out. But, you know, I had a step on that because I could smell that. And, you know, and it wasn't distinct. I mean, it was like, what is that? It was like burnt electricity smell. Electricity smell. Then, you know, believe it or not, I had kids punch me in the hallway. I would walk down, nonchalant, right there, right in the jaw. Whatever reasons why, I never understood why. You know, because it makes you feel good. You know, whatever. So, I started learning visuals. So if you're walking at me like this, and your teeth are clenched, your fists are balled up, you're walking like this, what do you think I'm going to perceive you as? Oh, you're going to do something. So I see this kid, I started finding out who it was, and I had to go to this hallway. And I couldn't wait because I'd be late for class. So, you know, he's walking like this, and I'm looking at him like, okay, well, there's a classroom right here. So I sneak right in, and he's going, you know, looking around for me, and he'd walk off, and I'd be like, hee hee. You know, you're carrying your stuff, what do they do? I know you guys have done it. You see a little kid carrying the stuff, whoops, you know, knocking the stuff down. For whatever reasons why. But they were doing it to me, okay, you know, sorry. So I see these kids. I see their fists. I see their eyes. You're looking down at me like this. You guys are all keeping your heads up. Your chins are up. Teachers are leaning forward. I got your attention. If you're back, you know, like, can't wait to get this over with. It's Friday. We're out of here in 15 minutes. Wish this guy would wake up. You know, but I don't see that. It's good. It's feasible. I'll give you an example. A lot of people think I read minds. I do. A lot of you guys got to go to the bathroom right now, I can tell you. No. You try to remember what happened. If somebody came up to me, I was a bartender, winter crowd announcer over the years in Kansas City, and you just got to remember things. Try to remember. A girl walks in, she's crying a little bit, her hair is matty, and her eyes are a little bit red, not a lot, there's a few tears. And I said, what's wrong? She goes, well, my boyfriend broke up. Okay, well, I remember that. Remember that face? Remember that event. Another girl, you know, maybe 6 months later, walks, crying hysterically, no sleep, bags under her eyes are red, just been crying, no, you know, like I said, no sleep. What's wrong? I'm pregnant. And you remember that. Those are the examples. So, a couple years ago, girl comes in, crying a little bit, eyes not as red, hair a little matty. First thing I'm going to ask is what? Your boyfriend break up again? How'd you know? No, you remember. You know, guys, I can tell you billions and billions of facial happenings that I remember. You know, like, you know, I work security at MMA fights, and I see people out in the stand that are about to do something, and you see them looking over, and they keep looking over, and you have to walk over there and make sure nothing's there for them to throw anything. You know, you got to see that. You got to learn. You got to perceive that. Teachers, they see the students walk in. Every year, teachers should observe what you look like when you come in. If you can't use the C word, at least the teacher will know when you come in if you've had sleep the night before, if you're wearing good clothes, if you're taking care of yourself, you know, so that they can see that. And that the minute something changes, not wait till it blows